Hey guys, welcome to the very first Wizards Unite live stream. So that was a little bit of an intro that I sort of put together. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I took a little bit probably more time to do that than I should have, but it was kind of fun, to be honest. So here is a first look at the game here that we did see in the App Store and stuff like that. So that was I loved the graphics when I first saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I downloaded it obviously right away. But before I did that, I wanted to check out some of the images here. Obviously, creating your ministry ID was probably the most surprising thing I think that I noticed was like I was sort of expecting to be playing as like an avatar character, sort of the same way that we do with like Pokemon Go. It's like a avatar that we create and stuff, but it looks like it's just us. It's really, that's all it is. It's not even like we can like upload any other photos or anything like that. It just pretty much seems like your Wizard ID card is really yours. It's kind of cool. Wasn't expecting that though. I want to say hi to a couple people here, Amanda and Tiffany. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the stream. I have been waiting for this game for so long, and to be honest, I probably wanted this before they even started creating it. I wanted a type of game where I could actually like go out in the real world and try and collect obviously magical stuff. And here it is, finally. I've basically been binge gaming. So today, guys, these are like a whole bunch of clips here that I have put together. Not all of the ones that I've actually got, so I'm probably gonna have to do another stream tomorrow as well to get out some more of the clips. Because obviously, you know, we got to walk around, and it is a little bit difficult to play this game and record yourself. I thought maybe it would be possible, but you definitely need a second person if you are going to manage to do that. It does seem pretty intense. It's a lot faster paced than Pokemon Go. That was probably the first thing I noticed was that the pace of this game is super fast. Like, when you cast spells and things like that, there is no room for error. Like, you really have to be on the ball or you're going to miss out on all of the cool stuff that this game has to offer. Now, the one really great thing here is the profession, which, again, I wasn't expecting this either, but I thought this was pretty cool. Either an Auror, a Magizoologist, or a Professor. If you guys are playing this game, what did you decide to go with? Now, the cool thing is it does look like we are going to be able to change, obviously, our profession at any time. So we can work towards one, and if we manage at some point to max it out, it looks like we can go ahead and, change over. Or we don't even have to max it out. If we just want to sort of test to see which one has more benefits and stuff like that, we can totally do that. Obviously, I think an Auror sounds pretty amazing. I kind of wanted to go with a very different sort of approach, obviously, than I have with the Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery, I went with, like, obviously the daughter of Bellatrix Lestrange and Lord Voldemort, so I really kind of went all Slytherin. I am naturally, I think, a Gryffindor, and, you know, I had to be a Gryffindor for this one. I could not keep that in forever. So I'm actually, in some ways, this whole like avatar thing, I was thinking like it just being us. I think that probably was one of the biggest things. I was like, oh, I actually get to play as myself if I want to, or I can make it about Delphi, but this is sort of where I'm kind of like in a bit of a battle now, because I'm like, Delphi is awesome. I have made her awesome in Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery, but then again, it's like I want to play this game as me. So anyways, it's a little bit of something I'll ask you guys about as we go through here. I will be showing you the play. Basically right here, right now, it's just sort of, I was going to read this out. It is a little bit small, unfortunately, on the screen at the moment for this sort of stuff. But basically what this is sort of giving you guys a general idea about is that the creators have kind of taken this game like a couple of steps further than Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was one of those games that was fantastic, but it's still fantastic, but it's more geared, I feel like, towards a younger demographic and stuff. This one is extremely complicated. Yes, magic is all around us and it's amazing, but again, it's like, I feel like your skill level and knowledge has to be a lot higher. If you're a person that doesn't know a lot about Harry Potter, then you guys are going to have to do your research. You cannot get away with playing this game without knowing something. So that is definitely something to consider. Okay, so we've got Georgia. Hi. Thanks for tuning in to the very first Wizards Unite live stream. Obviously, there are still a few things I think that they are going to add to this game. One of the things I think for sure is going to be more stops. This was something like I saw there's a lot more than a game like Pokemon Go. I have played Pokemon Go. I think I made it to like level 40 before, like I still sometimes open it and stuff, but not to the same degree. Just because DMK, Hogwarts Mystery, like a lot of these other games have sort of like caught my attention. So Pokemon Go like is something I still open, but not that often. But the thing is like a lot of the stops and stuff with Pokemon Go, there wasn't like enough of them. There was then like later on they added gyms and stuff to sort of fill that. Now this game sort of right away gave us like we'll go through the towers and stuff like that as we go through. But the one really crazy thing is that yes, they gave us the towers, but they didn't give us a way to like in Pokemon Go at the gyms you can spin. Right? Obviously for items, you cannot do that at the towers that you're challenging and stuff. So if there isn't like a greenhouse or like anything else that you can like obviously get energy from in this game, like you're not going to be able to just get it at obviously again one of the gyms or towers. Like again, I guess I'll walk you guys through it, and I know I'll probably use multiple terms for each, but I think that is something that they need to incorporate because I noticed there's a lot of levels and stuff, and it's something you cannot do without a lot of energy for sure. So the very first thing that it requires you to do is fill in your age. So make sure you guys don't put like, oh yeah, no, I'm like 10, because I don't know if they're going to allow you to make like in-app purchases and stuff like that. And if they do have ads to give you stamina at some point, they don't right now, but if they do at some point, then you're not going to probably be able to get it. Hi Karen, thanks for tuning in. All right, so obviously putting in your Google account or logging in through Facebook. Now, I'll tell you guys why I immediately regretted using this Gmail account. It happens a little bit later that I notice it, but I hooked up Pokemon Go. I switched it to being hooked up to that account and stuff, and it was like, I ended up giving me a totally different name than I wanted, and you can't actually change your name. So I'll show you guys where that sort of happens and stuff like that. I thought I was going to be able to maybe start a new one, but it just literally gave me the Pokemon Go one that I had created later to sign up for and through the emails and stuff like that to get notifications about it. So just be warned, if you were one of those players through Pokemon Go and you've synced your account with that email, not the best if you want to change your account name. And basically that's for like players to find you. It's not like your ministry ID and stuff like that, but if people want to be able to find you, that's the name that's going to come up. I wanted to put Potter Girl, but unfortunately it just sort of gave me the name that I thought that I would have needed as like, yeah, anyways, as the account name, but I thought it was also for my avatar and stuff like that. But two totally different things. So obviously I want email notifications, and anything that I get on here I'm going to like share with you guys obviously right away. I'm creating an Instagram account as we speak. So this is the intro to the game, so I'll just be quiet for this part. Very cool, right? So cool. I wish we had a scene like that as a trailer for, I don't know, just to get us all hyped up, like maybe back in like April. That would have been nice. Just as like a teaser, but we really didn't get like a lot of the really good teasers until like 2 days before we got it. So, all right, here it is. Obviously, make sure you're not playing this game while you're driving. If you're a passenger, though, go for it. Okay, so stay safe. Very important.
There you are. Thank goodness. Hello, I'm Constance Pickering. I work with Hermione Granger on the Statute of Secrecy Task Force. We've been charged with containing this disastrous calamity.
Let me know if you guys can actually like hear it. If you guys can't, then let me know, because I'll just end up reading it out then, and I'll just mute the volume. But I thought it was cool that they did incorporate them speaking a little bit. So just something a little bit fun.
This calamity is, well, quite calamitous. Everything that anyone has ever feared, revered, or held dear in the wizarding world, people, things, even memories, have been stolen and displaced, tossed about across the world.
I loved Pokemon too,
We've got to
Georgia.
return what is lost, and quickly. The Statute of Secrecy is in danger of being broken. Harry Potter, an Auror from the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, is on hand to advise you on a few calamity basics.
Thank you guys for letting me know that it's clear. That's awesome.
Hello. Thanks for volunteering your help to the Ministry. I'm Harry Potter. Let's get started.
So do you guys think that's Daniel
the Ministry
Radcliffe?
have provided you a brilliant map designed to help find the missing objects. Magical Me there indicates your position in the world.
It sounds like him.
Magic always leaves traces. It indicates the location of a foundable left by magic, causing this calamity and risking the Statute of Secrecy. Foundables are what we're calling the things that are missing.
Now that's super, super important. Foundables are the things that are missing, because I was like a bit confused at this, like right away. But as long as I can remember that, then we can figure out what our foundables are. All right, so the first thing to do is tap on the tracer, obviously, and then that way we can get to the foundable. Now, obviously you don't have to give camera permission. This was one thing I was kind of like iffy on. I allowed it, but at the same time, like, I'm just gonna play through, like...
First, you'll need to search the ground to locate the foundable. Stay alert and make sure you have plenty of light to see.
So I've turned my AR off, just
The threat meter measures
for
how
this.
likely a foundable is to expose the wizarding world, thereby breaking the Statute of Secrecy. The greater the threat, the harder it will be to remove the confoundable.
Did you guys all get Hagrid first as your first one? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I am not the best at this. The spell tracing. I will be at some point, but... Yay! Return. So we have overpowered the confoundable. So that gives us Hagrid here. Rubius Hagrid. Now again, this was a little bit confusing at the very beginning. I just feel like they could have walked through what each particular thing meant here. But basically, you're just getting like a certain amount of XP for example, in this case, it's Care of Magical Creatures. Now, each thing will be a little bit different depending on what we're collecting. So I'm going to walk you guys through that in just a second. Hi, Zelmans. How's it going?
Well done. Now that you've returned Hagrid to where he belongs, you should make note of it in the registry.
All right, so here's sort of the section here. So this is the registry, so there's different sections in it. So Care of Magical Creatures is one of those sections. And then...
The registry is a listing of all the missing foundables known to the Ministry. Everything that has been reported missing can be found here.
Yeah, and then basically everything we find, we just put it in there. Sometimes we need multiple of them, so...
Explorations are what we call the collection of foundables hidden within the traces, along with a few special items you can recover from the fortresses. As you return foundables to their appropriate time and place, you'll mark progress by adding their image to your registry.
Oh, so you got Hagrid first too?
Why don't you place Hagrid's image now?
So obviously Hagrid was easy, but not all of them are going to be that easy. Alright, so there's Hagrid, the very first one. Now there's a whole bunch of them. Hagrid's hut has its own, like, I almost want to call it, like, poster. There's also the pumpkin patch, and then there's the Forbidden Forest. So basically we have to find all of the items for each one, and then once it's filled, then something will happen. But I haven't actually filled any of them yet to know, but that is going to be probably a little bit later on once I level up a little higher. What girl? The girl who's talking? Who is that girl? Oh, the Constance Pickering. Well, she's not anybody like in particular from what we kind of know and stuff from the Harry Potter films. Like this is sort of a little bit, she's a bit of an addition to everything. Actually, Zelman, you worded it perfectly. She's the head of the SOS task force. So she's basically just going to be helping us out through most of the tutorial stuff. So at the top, and I almost didn't get this like at first, I found this a little bit confusing. At the top is sort of where, if you want to check out, again, each individual, I'm calling it like poster, then you just have to click at the top and make sure you scroll down, because I was talking to a couple of people about this, and one of the things is that like they only thought that there was one poster per registry grouping, but there's a whole bunch. You just have to scroll down for each, and then you can see more. So at first they were like, there's hardly anything we have to collect, but there's actually a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty intense. I can't wait to actually finish like a whole group of them and then see what happens after that. It's gonna be super duper cool. All right, so here you can see Legends of Hogwarts. Like some of them you can guess what they are, but other ones you're kind of like, I don't actually know. Like obviously here we can tell one of them's Dumbledore. One of them's a flying key from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone when they're in the chamber and stuff like that. So it's cool to sort of see similar objects and stuff that we know. Let's see, what else do we know here? Okay, so the Ministry Atrium. Actually, that one's probably a bit tricky. It looks like the Sorting Hat there, but it's hard to know for sure. Probably pick the worst one to start guessing them on. Yeah, this one's like a little bit weird. I'm like, All right, this one I thought was super cool. The Magizoology. We have actually Newt's Case as one of the options. So if you guys have seen the Fantastic Beasts movies, you'll obviously start to recognize a lot of the creatures here, like the Bowtruckle, for example. Like I love that they sort of added that section into this game. I wasn't really expecting that per se. I was sort of hoping it because he's kind of like the guru for all creatures, right? So it was kind of nice to be able to see that a lot of like the different magical creatures ended up in this game from that film. So pretty cool. Here we can see the World Cup grounds. Now, there definitely in the Harry Potter films wasn't enough Quidditch. That was one thing I was a little bit disappointed about, especially with the World Cup in the fourth movie. It was like, oh my god, they could have done so much more with that. Amanda, have you tried the game yet? Hi, Wishing. How's it going? Georgia asks me, who is your favorite Harry Potter character? Obviously, I love Harry Potter. I can't just pick one. I love Hermione because she's just absolutely brilliant. I do love, though, like secretly just love Moaning Myrtle. A part of me is just kind of glued to her. They didn't show her enough in the films, but she is just dramatic and she's helpful, but like just in her own way. They didn't have enough of her, I don't feel like, in the books or the movies, but she did have like a bigger role in the books for sure. Like, for example, Peeves, he didn't get any role in the films, and that was like a real sort of disappointment for me because he could have just lightened up a lot of the later movies and stuff like that. So especially the Order of the Phoenix, like we totally needed Peeves in that one just to loosen it up. Like Fred and George were great towards the end to loosen things up, but yeah, not that much in the beginning. Yeah, who do you guys love? Oh, I'm seeing Draco Malfoy. He's just adorable, but yeah. Is Dobby a picture? Not that I noticed, but I don't think I particularly noticed a house elf. There might be one though. So let's, you know what I'm gonna do? While I'm doing this, I'm gonna put my wand down for a second. I can actually probably go and check that. I'm still a little confused, like, where some of the stuff is. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys my progress, like, as I go on here. It's like, oh my gosh. He should have been, like, in the Hogwarts Legends one, probably, but he wasn't. And he's not in Creatures, Oddities. I don't think he's in here. I'm going to say Dobby is not in here yet, but I think he would be something that would be added to the game at some point. If you guys see him, obviously, and I've, like, totally missed it, you guys can obviously let me know here in the chat or in the comments section if you guys are watching later. Zelman, you love Lupin? Oh my gosh, Lupin is so cool. I feel like he could have had a bigger role, but you know, get Dolores Umbridge out of there. Yeah. So you love Lupin, but you're not willing to meet up with him on a full moon. Come on, he just needs to have his potion and then he's okay. He's safe. What is my favorite creature? I love a few of them, but I have to say the Niffler. It's just the cutest thing in the world. Especially in Fantastic Beasts when we get to see the baby Nifflers. Oh my gosh. The Crimes of Grindelwald. I was like, oh, it's so adorable. I want one so badly. Too bad they're not real. Oh, Bellatrix. She's amazing too. It's so hard to pick one character in that series, like, who you absolutely love. I think I loved Bellatrix more, like, as a character and stuff, and this is probably one of the few times I'll say this, but in the films, I fell in love with her way more than I did in the books. In the books, I was just like, she's, like, way too crazy, and, like, it was hard to visualize her even having a soft side at all, but you can totally see it in the films, like her love for Voldemort and things that like I didn't catch on, I guess, when I was reading the books when I was little and stuff. So I know, Georgia, I love everybody too. All right, so if you could have a magical creature as a pet, which one would you have? I mean, there are quite a few of them that are actually quite useful. Oh, there's Luna's Spectra Specs there. Oh my gosh. I can hardly wait to get a hold of those. That's going to be so cool. So basically, guys, like you can sort of level up each of these sort of different sections. They're called like the challenge, I guess, the challenges. So basically, once we level those up, we open, obviously, one of the trunks. And then when we open the trunks, we get things like keys and gold and scrolls and books and like things like that. So things that are really going to sort of help us out to become very, very powerful witches or wizards. Oh my god, Sparky, you love Fluffy? Oh my gosh. Fluffy was scary. I did see Fantastic Beasts. I have seen both of them. I think I loved, though, Crimes of Grindelwald just because Johnny Depp crushed it. He just... I know he made the end of the first one, like, for me. He really, really did. But in the second, like, just seeing him act is unbelievable. It's got to be, like, one of my favorite roles. I think Jack Sparrow, for him, is still my favorite. And then my second favorite now, for sure, is him as Grindelwald, for sure. Absolutely. I can hardly wait to see him in, like, a proper duel with Dumbledore. That's going to be so crazy. So crazy. Fluffy is a part of the ride at Hagrid's new roller coaster. Oh, my gosh. The day I get to go on that will be like the happiest day ever. Have you gone on it? Or just seen like the video clips? Oh, I would love an owl too. But like Hedwig. I would have a hippogriff as a pet or a thestral. Amanda, you want to know how smart that is? Because they can take you places, right? Planes would be so overrated if you had a hippogriff or a thestral. You wouldn't even need it. I mean, a broomstick is awesome, but I mean, yeah. Fluffy scared me. Like, there was nothing about Fluffy that didn't scare me. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here in the registry, actually, guys, you can see a whole bunch more sort of like fantastic creatures. Now, I do want to point out one thing here. It says brilliant event, and it does say flora and fauna. And I'm like right up at the top there, it says fantastic flora and fauna. And I just started laughing.
At any time to see which foundables you've returned and which ones are still missing.
It reminded me of DMK so much. What's a 6 to 8 hour wait? Let me know. I missed something. All right. So here it's walking us through locating the foundables and stuff like that. So you can see right now where I am. It's actually not too bad of a spot. There is a place where I can get stamina, and there's obviously going to be like, I'm going to call it like a spawn when there's a whole bunch of stuff around that we can do. All right, so can you guys guess what this item is here? Oh my gosh. All right, so this is the Vanishing Cabinet. So it has been returned to the Room of Requirement. You need 4 fragments to actually get that. So, 6-8 hour wait for Hagrid's roller coaster. That's crazy. Sparky, I do have some tips for you for sure. I'll give you more as like I play the game more, but I find the best thing is to put yourself in a location that's got like a couple around you. I know it's hard, but that's like really one of the best things for sure. I was expecting, guys, I leveled up to level 2 here, and I was super surprised that I did not see like a refill in the energy. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me that we don't get any. It's not even like, oh, you're given 5. Like, there's just none. You're given some gold, and the gold can be used to replenish it. But honestly, the gold we need for so many other things, it's like you're not going to be wasting it on that, for sure. Absolutely not. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Potions, keys, gold, and we're going to go through all of these things. Just quickly, though, potions are going to be used for dueling and obviously going up against foundables and stuff like that. And the gold is just going to be useful for like way too much stuff. I'll explain that as we go along. And then the keys are good for Portkeys, actually. I won't be showing you guys that in this one.
Listing of critically important assignments they would like you to consider. Completing these quests will provide you with additional rewards you can use in your work.
Yeah, so this was useful here, but it's not like a good way to get energy or anything.
Now let's look at this list. Your first tasks are to return some foundables and visit some inns. Seems simple enough. Well, off you go.
Right, inns. I still need to get better with some of the names of some of the things, but inns and greenhouses are the best spots for energy. At first I was like, oh, greenhouses don't do that, but they actually can do it. They don't necessarily all the time, but they can provide that. So here's a whole list. There's like daily assignments that you can do. Try and finish it every day because that does give you some stuff. They do give you 10 energy here just for picking up an ingredient, so that is useful. But again, like I feel like as we get higher, that 10 energy is not going to be that useful. Probably the best thing out of the daily things is the scrolls that we get, believe it or not. So for example, like brewing a potion and using a potion, those are the things I think that is going to help us out the most. Again, I'm not totally sure, but I'm still like playing around with the game, but that's definitely what it seems like for sure. So here are some of the rewards in June. Obviously, we can't get them all because June's like almost over, unfortunately, but that was more for people that got the game earlier. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those countries. Now, special assignments, they are coming soon. I'm assuming those are going to be like events and things like that. And we'll have like a limited time to do a whole bunch of things. There'll probably maybe even be a leaderboard. We just don't know like whether they're going to make it or how they're going to make it like that. But we'll have to sort of wait and see. Patrons? What do you mean? Oh, the Patronus. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Patronus. Okay. I haven't taken the quiz yet. I am going to do it on camera for you guys. I've been like wanting to forever, but I just want to do it with you guys. I feel like it's a good way for me to surprise myself, like pleasantly, hopefully. I mean, maybe that'll backfire, but there are a few things that I definitely want to still do. Now, in this game even, I didn't even like fill out all the stuff for my wand yet because I wanted to do that and also fill out the one on Pottermore to sort of figure out what my wand would be for real and sort of see how the game like kind of compares things a little bit. So yeah, we'll just have to wait a little bit longer for that. Now the achievements here, they don't go away. It's not a daily thing. These are permanent things here in the game. Now some of them are really easy. Some of them are a little bit more challenging. At the beginning, you'll be able to obviously sort of whiz through these. The XP is going to be great at the start. Now I feel like later on as we go along, it's going to become a lot more difficult. And obviously these achievements are going to be fewer and fewer unless they incorporate, you know, lots more. Some that aren't too difficult, but What Patronus do you want? I feel like an Abraxan would be really cool. I'm trying to think what I wouldn't want. I don't know. I think I wouldn't want, like, a flubberworm. Like, if my Patronus was, like, a flubberworm, I think I would cry. Like, for reals. Hey, Mega. How's it going? So we're talking about Patronuses here. So what is you guys' Patronus? And if you guys haven't taken the quiz, what would you like it to be? Like, there's so many achievements here, guys. It's crazy. I want to show, like, you guys all of them in case you guys haven't played the game yet or it hasn't come out in your country yet, and all that. But you can see, obviously, all the different rewards and stuff that you can get. There are obviously bonus rewards for certain ones, and it kind of shows that by, like, having the presents beside them. Now, those tend to be a little bit more challenging, so just keep that in mind. They're not usually the easiest ones. I feel like the ones that we're really going to need a lot more of too are potions. I feel like we have a lot maybe right now that we can brew and things like that, but I feel like as we go along, we're going to need potions, and we're going to need more storage and stuff like that. I feel like it's like, if you guys play Pokemon Go, I feel like it's like raspberries and golden raspberries and pineapples, bananas, like things like that. It's just more things to sort of help us. In Pokemon Go, it's like it helps you to catch the Pokemon, right? Using those items and stuff like that. But I feel like in this game, it's going to be potions instead. So we're going to have to be constantly brewing potions, which means we need a lot of ingredients. And I know some of them are going to be more difficult. And you guys will definitely see that as you start to play. There'll be a few potions that'll be pretty easy, but yeah. Georgia, you want an elephant? Why an elephant? Yours is a black swan, Amanda. Oh my god, that's so pretty. I wouldn't mind if mine was a black swan. I wouldn't mind that at all. Okay, let's go ahead here. And so you can see, like, depending on where you are, there's a lot more stuff around. If you guys kind of live in the middle of nowhere, this is not going to be ideal for stamina and stuff. So make sure you guys get out and fill up when you're out. It'll definitely be a lot easier for you. So this is your ministry ID here. Now, if you complete the ID, this is sort of like what helps make your experience a little bit more fun. Obviously, we're going to be able to do things like a name, and you can change that at any time right now, which is fantastic, but that's not like the name that people see. So just keep that in mind, guys. You have two different names. You've got your like personal name, and then you have got your like account name. And that was something like I didn't realize like right off the bat. I thought it was just like logging me in through my email, but it did not work out like that. So the first thing they want you to do is put an image. I haven't really chosen an image that I want to leave there yet. Now, probably the main reason for that is because of that name situation. Again, I wanted to use like a fun character name, but couldn't really do that with the name that I have for my account. And you can't change it right now. You can't even use gold to do it, so I have to kind of wait for that. Yeah, my game ID is going to come up here. I would say what it is, but I think, I don't remember if I put like a dot or anything in it. When it comes up, though, I'll read it out for sure. Actually, I can probably just check it on my device as well. I just don't want to make any mistakes there. Now, I don't know how it will affect you, like if you're in like different locations and stuff like that. Where do I want to go to find this? Okay, yeah. So here Yeah. So first and last name that was for your eyes only. Obviously, it's not for just my eyes only. It's for you guys as well. Now, obviously it's not my real name, but I wanted to choose a name that was kind of in keeping with someone that I'm playing with, but it kind of didn't work out like that. Hold on, I gotta figure out. I think it's here. Yeah, so it's where you go to add a friend. Okay, so my friend thing is Delphi Augury, so it's DELPHI and then AUGURY. And if you guys want my friend code, I can give you guys that as well. Rainbow Dash, you went for a nap and then you came in and checked out the stream. That's amazing. Maybe I'll put my code here in the... I'll try and put it here in the thing. 5... Okay, so I'm gonna paste it in the chat right now, guys. So that's, I guess, the friend code. I'm assuming you guys need that. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So this is where you choose your Hogwarts house. You can change this as well at any time. Since it's Delphi Augury, I might end up changing my Veronica Potts to being Delphi Augury. And I might have to play as a Slytherin again, even though I just want to play as a Gryffindor. Like, that was kind of the whole point. Play more as myself. But yeah, didn't really work out that way. Again, I'm sure we'll be able to change it in the future, but they just haven't set that up yet. So for now, I've got like 2 different names, so just ignore it. And yeah. We'll talk about that as we go along, so you guys don't make that mistake in the future. Again, I thought it was just gonna be email address, but it's not. All right, see you later, Rainbow Dash. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow for the next stream, or else on Friday on Disney Girl. So here, I thought this was really amazing, was the wand. You got to create your own wand. It's not like you had to do any, like, test questions or anything. You actually get to pick it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. There's the wood, there's the core, and they even have, like, images and stuff for you guys so you knew which creatures you were going with. And obviously, it kind of makes it fun. Like, I feel like you can change this, but it's not really like, I don't know. It's not really quite clear if you can just go in and change it whenever you want. So I didn't play around with that yet, and I wanted to know first whether, like, it was actually super important. Bye! Thanks for tuning in. Team Gryffindor, yeah, all the way. I'm hoping I don't have to be a Slytherin for this, but if it's Delphi, I might not have a choice. Unless we make on this account, like, Delphi be like a super good girl. Oh my gosh, rebelling against her parents. Okay, so these wizarding achievements. Now, this here is going to be something that everybody can see. So some of these, like, achievements, again, won't be overly difficult. But some of them are definitely super hard. Let's see here. There were a few that kind of shocked me. Let's see here. Was this the one where it said... oh no, okay, it's not this one. There's an area, and then there's actually like a badge that you guys can get. And it's like by visiting another country, you get it. And it's like shows other players. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's ridiculous. It kind of reminds me of Pokemon Go. It's going to be one of those things you're going to have to, like, travel if you want certain stuff. And I was like, yeah, je not feel. Yeah, Amanda, I really did like that choosing the wand feature for sure. That was probably like one of my favorite things there for sure. I wish we had like a little bit more of a heads up though going into this, like at the beginning, that like when you create your ID and stuff like that early, right, for that early access and stuff like that, that was going to be what you were stuck with and you couldn't change it, first of all. And secondly, that would reflect to adding friends. Like that wasn't my understanding at all. So yeah. So anyways, here is my code now up on the screen. If you guys didn't notice it in the chat, it is there now so that you guys can add me if you want. Again, I hope to change my actual like account name at some point, but until I do, this is what it is. Now the code is going to stay the same regardless, I believe, so that will not change. So when you want to add somebody, you have to put in the code. The name really doesn't matter that much. So that did make me feel a little better, that it's like, I wouldn't be saying like, hey guys, you have to add, like if you want to add me, you have to put in Delphi Augury, but it might change. Like it doesn't matter. It's just your code. The code's not going to change. So it's just, I feel like that's there to stay. So that, I guess that is one perk for sure. So I did end up adding one friend so far, so I am looking forward to adding more for sure. I don't know if like friends in like other places and stuff like that, how useful that's going to be, but it would be cool if we could like play like anytime, anywhere with people, sort of like we do for like heists and stuff like that in Disney's Heroes battle modes. I feel like that would be super cool if we could team up and stuff like that and do certain things, like invite players or friends that are online and stuff like that to battle with you. I feel like that would be super cool. Mind you, I feel like that's gonna like make the game super competitive though, and like, yeah. Okay, so the vault here. Okay, so I did want to talk about this because this one wasn't super obvious right off the get-go. They really didn't walk you through this section, unfortunately, but this is basically like your bag, your knapsack. If you guys, again, are Pokemon Go people, this is sort of the same idea. So there's different sections though, and each section will have a limit. Well, obviously not all of them, but when you're collecting things, they all have limits. So seeds and water has its own limit. That is only for greenhouses. Obviously any potions that you have and you brew and stuff like that, that's going to have a limit, and it doesn't go up as you go along. You have to buy storage. So if you guys want to do that, you just go into the cart, and you guys will be able to do that. And if you're not sure how to get to it, at the bottom middle of your screen, there is a little suitcase there that you can click, and that will take you there. Now, don't forget about this, guys. If you go into your shop, okay, you will have a one-time special gift, okay, that you can claim, and it is totally worth it, okay? It's free. You guys don't actually have to buy anything, but the kind of gimmick is you have to actually go into the shop. And I just showed it on the screen there, so if you missed it, please go back if you're watching this later. I don't know if I claimed it yet. I must have claimed it already. Yeah, I did. Okay, so basically it's like a one-time gift that you guys need to collect, and it just gives you like a whole bunch of stuff right off the get-go, and it does help you out at the beginning. So one of the things I believe in there was like stamina and stuff like that, so super useful. Do I have Harry Potter Lego? I do on Xbox. Is that like, that's something I want to play on the channel for sure. Obviously I just haven't gotten around to it yet, so it is something I am going to do though. That's the plan. I'm obviously not going to be doing that probably until August though, because like obviously Wizards Unite and stuff now is out in my country. Oh my gosh, I wasn't in that first group of countries, so I had to wait. Now, I do have to say that, you know, obviously by me posting this, it kind of gives away my location a little bit more. And it's something you can't turn off to show. So no matter what, it kind of just gives that away. So keep in mind, guys, that like if you are going to be doing any posting, like even on your own Instagram or on Facebook, if you guys don't want that showing, you guys have to like cut it out or blur it out yourself. Now it is way too difficult to do, like for doing like movie clips. It would take like all day. So it's just there. Yeah, go ahead with your question. Oh, it was just the Harry Potter Lego? Okay, cool. It is super, super generous. I hope they give it again, though. Yeah, sometime in the future, that'd be great. Oh, the Harry Potter Lego? Oh, I'm totally doing that for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I've been playing Lego games more than DMK because of my iPad mini too. Yeah, it used to be, Harry Potter Lego used to be an iPad app or phone, like it was just a mobile app. And they actually, like I purchased it, it was like $25, I want to say, or something. And then now the thing is like you can't, even if you purchase the game, you can't actually get it on your newer devices or anything. It doesn't update, nothing. So unfortunately, like that I feel like is something I hope they bring back in the future, because it was a really good like app game. I know it's amazing on Xbox, but it was really cool to have like obviously in the app as well. So again, one of those things I hope they bring back, because if you've already purchased it, like you missed it. Like you can't really play it anymore unless you have that old device. Did you hear about the Scrooge McDuck potential in DMK? What are your thoughts? I feel like Scrooge should have been something maybe for like Christmas, but maybe they've got other plans, probably Frozen plans, so I guess maybe including that now isn't the worst idea ever. But yeah, it should be interesting. I'm not like jumping for excitement with this update, I don't think. Like I have been for other ones. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like the best update ever. This update I'm a little skeptical about, but I have high hopes for it. Oh, yeah, current conditions here, guys. So obviously, as you can see here, it was clear, it was dusk, it was amazing, full moon. But the thing is that current conditions will sort of spawn out different things. So if it like rains or it's a full moon, you guys will see different stuff. Like I had the full moon, and I actually, later on you'll see, is that I actually saw a vampire. So that was pretty intense. All right, so here we go. My tracing is not phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. I do get a little bit better, but I'm trying to sort of figure out what makes it perfect. Like, I thought it was like, oh, if you trace it absolutely perfect on the screen, you would get perfect, but that's not the case. I feel like speed has a little bit to do with it. Obviously, you have, I think one of the biggest things is you have to touch certain points of your trace. So whatever spell it is, you have to touch certain points on it or it will not activate. Now, there is a golden snitch, guys. This is high. This is super difficult to get. And that got masterful, and I didn't trace it perfectly, as you guys probably just saw. So I didn't catch it, even though I did a masterful spell. That was heartbreaking, to be honest. I really wanted my first snitch.
Innkeepers from across the world have
Hopefully I'll see it again.
Witches and wizards with free food. Their generosity will help keep you energized on your travels. Make certain you thank them.
Oh, thank you, Amanda. That's super sweet. Rainbow Dash, you should get a new iPad so it'll speed up your games. Okay, so this is the very first stop I went to. Now, I was a little bit confused on this. I thought we would get all 5 trays, but we don't. We only get 1. And I think it's pretty cool that the window there, it'll change the background depending on where you are. So we just trace the glyph and then we receive the food. And the food is what gives us, obviously, just the stamina. So there we go. I think that only gave me a few there, and you have to wait 5 minutes no matter what the stop is. You have to wait 5 minutes.
Repurposed dark detectors, attuning them to locate hard to find traces. Active dark detectors reveal traces you wouldn't normally see in the area around the inn.
Okay, Sparky, I will definitely answer that question as soon as this tutorial section's over. I'll have to keep stopping and starting for sure. Dark detectors is basically like a lure at a stop. That's my sort of understanding of it for Pokemon Go. So basically it just attracts stuff to your area. So the only difference, I guess, would be is that you can activate multiple of them. So you can get a whole bunch, and then that will just give you like higher end like foundables and stuff like that. So basically ones that you wouldn't typically see around. And how you will know is it has like, if you see like they have obviously the little symbol right on the screen that we always see. If they're like extreme, then what's going to happen is there's going to be like a light glowing from the top of it, and those are the ones that you totally want to click, especially if you want some of those harder to get items. So I really liked that feature for sure, and I hope that is one that stays implemented. So I have one right now. I'm not going to use mine though, because yeah. All right, so there are seeds around, and those are only useful at the greenhouses, but the only sad thing about the greenhouses is that you actually have to like
well, it looks like you're
go
in for a bit
back
of a
to
fight.
it.
You'll have to defeat this foe in combat.
Like multiple times you have to go back in order to grow the stuff. So yeah. All right, so here's the first duel here. Oh my gosh. The sounds are hilarious. So just point your wand at the target. So basically it's just like putting your finger on the screen, and then you're just gonna move it up and like around, and then you're gonna see the wand point a little circle. So basically you just have to make sure that that lines up with the circle that's coming from them. So that's sort of the trick. Some characters, or I guess foundables, or I guess this isn't foundables. What do we call these ones? I guess the foe. Basically each foe will have a different amount of movement. This guy, he doesn't move very much, so he's pretty easy. Okay, so yeah, so you just put your finger on the screen and then hold it. And then once you've done that and the circle fills up, then you trace the spell. I noticed it was a little bit better. I had better luck as I played more. I had better luck getting like higher damage and stuff like that when I left my finger on the screen and I traced the spell that comes right after. So again, you like tap and hold with your circle. It'll focus the one that's on the foe. Once it fills up the little blue dial, then it'll go to the spell, and you just keep your finger on the screen and trace it. And that was definitely the best way, at least I found so far, to kind of, again, get the most damage and not run risk of them actually attacking you, because you only have like a certain amount of time. That's what I noticed. I tried it a little bit later on, is I tried, because I was like walking and doing something, and I was like, oh, I was looking around, and then I realized I missed my turn because I waited too long. So when you are definitely dueling foes, you have to make sure that you're actually like focused. Don't even bother doing it if you're not actually. Okay, so we had a question here. It was, how do we know how much of each we need? So you need to go into your registry for that. So how do you get to that? So at the bottom of your screen, right here, there's a suitcase, okay? You're gonna tap the suitcase. Why isn't it tapping? Okay. And then from there, we're going to see right above that, there's going to be something called the Registry. So you go into the Registry, and right away you can see like the images, right? So Hagrid, we only needed one, so the image is there. Then after that, for example, I have an Abraxan that I'm still collecting for. So that is going to be like, it's going to have like a little bit of a shaded color, and that it says like 1 of 15. Now, even if you don't have any and it's totally white on your screen there, it'll just still say 0 of 15. So it does tell you how many you do need per item. Now, there are some really easy ones, especially I found like in the middle section for Care of Magical Creatures, the pumpkin patch. I found that one. I'm not done it yet, but that one is like basically almost done. That one had the baby hippogriff, it had the Kneasel, the flobberworm, the acromantula eggs, and then there's the Monster Book of Monsters. I've got one so far, which I'll show you guys. I don't think in this stream, but I will definitely probably show you tomorrow. So you have to collect 4 of those. Otherwise, it's just 1 for the pumpkin patch, which is quite nice there. So just something to keep in mind. Like if you're not sure how many you have to collect, it does say right underneath each image. So kind of cool there. And if you've seen one, again, like it does come into focus as you catch more of them or find more of them. Hey Lizette, how are you doing? What have you missed? Well, basically we've just been sort of going through the finer, like I guess, points of the game. This is going to obviously be like, it's basically just a whole bunch of clips that I've accumulated over the last like day or so. 2 days, I guess now. So it was quite challenging. I wanted to video myself doing it, but like you can't, it's not like Pokemon Go where you could like totally one-hand your game. You can't do that. So I decided just to do all my clips and then come and talk about it. Now I haven't held things long enough probably, but again, I just didn't know how much time I'd need. And again, like I would have had like, I don't know, like 20 hours of clips if I had have done that. So yeah, so we're kind of going through things. If you have any questions or whatever, I'm totally okay going back over a couple of things if you need some help. Now, again, we're still pretty early on in the tutorial. There's still like a lot more to know about the game, but it just gives us like a general idea, and I'll fill you guys in obviously more on like how to do things or the best way to do things as I play more. It's a new game, so it's still a little bit of a mystery to me, and there's like a lot of stuff in this one to understand. It's not something that I'm gonna be able to pick up in like a couple of days. So yeah. Let's see here. I've seen a Bellatrix painting that was an awesome find. Oh my gosh, Sparky, that is an awesome find. I actually did see that as well. I don't know if I actually got it though. I think I just saw it and then it went away like twice maybe. I'm gonna try and check to see. And I think you need a whole bunch of them, don't you? Like 10 or something. I don't remember what section it's under, unfortunately. But I know it goes to Malfoy Manor, though, when you do get it. So maybe I have got one of them. It's under Dark Arts. Yeah, it's under Dark Arts. It's under the Nocturne Alley section. It says I have 2 of 4. So it's the portrait of Bellatrix Lestrange. I really want that one. That's super cool. Super duper cool. I was hoping we'd actually like be able to like duel her or something. Like she would be one of those foes that we'd have to face, but I don't think we're getting that. So, what is the scariest one that you've come up against? I can tell you right now which one it was for me, and I was so scared that I messed up so badly. I didn't manage to actually to get it because like I literally just panicked. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even look at this right now. Yeah, not cool. The vanishing cabinet. Yeah, that's another one you need a bunch of. Ooh, level up again. Woo! So more free stuff. Yay! I do wish the rewards were a little higher, but I'm hoping that they'll get higher as you level up and stuff like that. Now, again, the one thing I noticed is like, at least in the stamina, I feel like in this game is like Pokeballs in Pokemon Go. And I know I'm comparing them, but it's because it's the same game creators. It's very similar that way. Did I get it on this video? I don't know if I got it on this video or not, Amanda. I don't know if I did. Otherwise, it'll definitely be in tomorrow's stream for sure. Because I'm streaming again tomorrow evening, so... yeah, anyways, let's see. I was talking about the stamina. So basically, it's like Pokeballs, and you have to, like... When you level up in Pokemon Go, you actually get a whole bunch of them and stuff. It's like with this game, it's like you level up and you don't get anything. Even Hogwarts Mystery, when you level up, you get like all this energy and stuff. You do not get that in this game. So I'm a little bit disappointed there, especially like when you're at the beginning, you want to just keep going. And like maybe you don't want to be out while you're doing this, because I know I was out when I was dealing with everything and I was like trying to go through the tutorial, and it just made it super hard. So like realistically, I wish I could have just sat at home and played for like an hour. But again, the problem is you do need that that energy and stuff like that. So I will be probably like definitely in the next week. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to also have a section of the stream when I stream again, not tomorrow probably, but again in the next week, when I've got some more stuff to show you guys, like what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys on here, like I'm gonna try catching a few things and like catching. Now I'm referring to it as like Pokemon Go, but anyways, finding a few things and doing that sort of stuff. Now in my location, it's kind of weird. I'm hoping it'll connect, because like, since I'm not like on the ground floor, I live like a little bit up high. So what it does is like, it makes me walk around and stuff. So sometimes I'll be able to get to certain locations and certain things and be able to find a lot of stuff. And other times it just like puts me in like a dead zone place. So it just sort of depends. Now this was like the best spot in the world, guys. What you see on the screen there, this is what you want to look for. I did find a couple of places like this. Now, some are easier to find than others. Ideally, like, I know standing in one spot for a while is brutal, but find a whole bunch of these inns. I call them like little houses, but if you find these inns here, they're fantastic. If you can find like 3 surrounding each other, because then you can just get a whole bunch of energy. So you get energy the same way as you will get Pokeballs. Yes, so it's the same idea. You go to like a Pokestop, and then you spin at the Pokestop and you get like Pokeballs and, raspberries and like things like that, right? In this game, in Wizards Unite, what you do is you just trace the spell or whatever it is on the screen, and then it just gives you all those dinner plates, and it just picks one for you, and you get whatever's inside. And it's usually like the minimum you'll get is, that I've noticed, is 3 of the stamina or energy. And the most I think I've got was like 15. So pretty high, pretty big difference. So again, if you're surrounded by like 3 inns, that can make like a huge difference. Now I didn't realize though, again, like at first, the greenhouses were actually useful. I was like, there's so many greenhouses and like no inns, and I was like super upset. I was like, this is crazy. Like, how do they expect me to do anything? And then I realized I went into the greenhouse. I'm like, I don't have enough stuff to like do anything in a greenhouse. And when you open it into the greenhouse, the first thing you do is pick a pot plant, and you can get energy that way. You don't always get it. You can just get like ingredients and stuff like that. But you can actually get some stamina. So something I would have liked to have known like on day one for sure, but definitely did not, and thought I was being cheated out of stamina and stuff, but I was not. I just didn't know yet. Bublio. That's the funniest spell name ever. And that was one of like my sad moments right there, is when they leave you. So like the snitch did, I had a lot actually. There was a section I had like, I think it was, I counted, I don't know if I got them all like in a row on video. I've recorded most of my stuff, but I lost a few clips unfortunately, just when I was doing stuff or whatever. But yeah, I missed 6 of them in a row. They like departed. It was super depressing. And I was like, they're even easy things. Like, I just want the XP. And they just left. I was like, oh. Oh, it's not just depressing with like easy things that you find all the time, but when it's things that you don't have, you're like, no. And the worst is when you give them a potion and you do one spell and then it leaves. And you're like, well, that was a waste of a potion. But I'll talk and show you guys more of that like tomorrow for sure. Okay, so Hand of Glory. Best friend of thieves. Yeah, no kidding. So if you guys remember, Draco Malfoy actually uses this. I guess it's in the books. They don't necessarily show it in the movie. But that is one of the things, the Hand of Glory, that Draco uses to sort of get out of Hogwarts after, oh my gosh, when was it? After he faced Dumbledore and Dumbledore died. He was trying to leave and it was just way too chaotic once everybody knew. And Hand of Glory, it saved him, I'm telling you. Yeah, that is also the scary hand from the Chamber of Secrets where Harry actually grabs it. I remember that was like one of my first moments in that movie. I was like, oh my gosh. That he grabs it and it grabbed him back. I was like, oh my God. So scary. I wonder what it was like in real life to do that particular scene. I wonder if the hand actually grabs you. Could you imagine? Oh my God, that would freak me out. You know what? In some ways, I feel bad for this flobberworm, but in other ways, it's just like the amount of flobberworms I have seen out there is just ridiculous. And I noticed I'm horrible in this game and in Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery at Flipendo. I just cannot do Flipendo. I have no idea what it is, but I don't have a knack for that one. Oh, the Monster Book of Monsters? Is that what you mean? The one with the face? The one that's like goes at Harry Potter in The Prisoner of Azkaban, where we first meet Sirius Black. Oh, that was a flesh-eating slug. That wasn't a flobberworm. They honestly, they look almost exactly the same, and they're both like super disgusting. There we go. So there is another one on the dark arts I'm calling it poster. But yeah, so I got actually quite a few things from there so far. Yeah, it was like so disgusting. What's more gross, the flesh-eating slugs or the flobberworms? I feel like I'd be more scared of the flesh-eating slugs, but I'd be way more grossed out by the flobberworms, for sure. The one in the library that screams in the first movie. Oh, when Harry Potter's in the restricted section. Oh my gosh, yeah, when he opens the book and he's like, ah!
You completed your first assignment. And don't forget to check back. The calamity waits for no man or woman.
I thought she was going to say witch or wizard, but she didn't. Shame. So yeah, every day there's daily assignments to do. Obviously, doing those is like super important, especially for gold, especially if you want to save up and stuff. Yay! So a good way to get some of that stamina and stuff as well is obviously by doing your daily assignments. Probably something that might be overlooked a little bit. I definitely kind of overlooked how useful that would be. Even just like, again, and I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but even when you go to an inn and you only get 3, it's still better than nothing. Like, it's just, you have no idea how much of it you need, and you just cannot save up enough of it. That's one thing I've noticed is, like, even when I sit in an area and I just keep doing it, it just, like, doesn't matter. It's just crazy. Yeah, both are just gross. I'd have to say, if I had to choose between the Screaming Book in the restricted section or the Monster Book of Monsters, I would say the one that scares me probably the most is the Monster Book of Monsters, but I feel like I would fall in love with it, like, eventually, once I knew how to, like, handle it and stuff like that. But oh, how terrifying is it to own a book and you're supposed to bring it to school that literally eats everything or destroys everything in its path? Just horrifying. At least in the restricted section, you can put it back. You don't have to bring it to school with you. So definitely, I'd say Monster Book of Monsters, but I'd hope to fall in love with it. What's going on with Harry right now? Okay, so I need to understand the story of Grim Folly a little bit better. He obviously has had something sort of traumatic go on with him. Again, I don't know the whole story, and I am going to kind of go back through things and get a better idea. But it sounds like it's someone he's very close to, someone named Penelope, that is one of the 5 witches or wizards that has gone missing. And he's a bit like, he sounds a bit to me like a bit of a Amos Diggory, because he, like, as soon as Amos lost Cedric, he, like, totally changed, right? And, like, if you've read the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child or gone to see the play, you probably got the general idea that he just wants his son back, and he's looking for a time turner. He wants a way. He's just looking to sort of get over his grief and stuff like that. And I feel like Folly has sort of done something similar, where he's just, like, doing whatever he can to get I believe it's Penelope back. So I'm going to explain it, like, a lot better once I've got a better idea, but I haven't gone through enough of the game to get the general picture, but that's sort of my understanding, at least so far, or even just guess if you want to say, as to what has gone on. Because I noticed, like, in the opening screens, I watched it quite a few times, that in the Daily Prophet articles and stuff like that, that it keeps saying the 5 that have gone missing. So it's like, okay, well, who are they? And I believe one of them is this witch Penelope. So now, again, his relationship with her, I might have missed it. I believe I want to say it's like his wife, but it could just be someone he's really close to. I love that book. I just thought it was from the beginning. New characters are now in Disney's Heroes. Will you be doing a live stream this week? I'm actually doing one tonight after this. So I should be on before 8. That is sort of the plan there. I'd say I might be able to be on by 7:30 actually. So, yeah. Yeah, we'll say 7:30. Battle Heroes, 7:30. I might, like, again, I was thinking I was going to be doing it more at 8, but I can definitely push it to, like, right after. I'll just basically just freshen myself up, get another tea and some water, and then go from there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing those new characters for sure. I was going to do it at 5, but I didn't get I knew this morning that I wasn't going to get the update in time, so I was just like, yeah, no. We'll do this first, and then we'll do the other one, so. Oh, they're just gross, yeah. Flobber worms and, ugh, yuck. Live stream for DMK on Friday. It will be after DMK's. DMK's is usually around 30 minutes long, but it just depends. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm not going to have an exact time, but I will be going on about a half an hour after they are finished. That way I can get a few of the images and stuff together so we can go back over and through what we saw. So yeah, there will be a DMK on Friday, but it'll be like probably 2 p.m., not at 10:30 like I usually do. And there'll be another stream tomorrow on here for Wizards Unite for sure. I haven't opened Hogwarts Mystery in like days. I've just been so consumed with this game. Karen, the game it's actually quite a lot of fun. It's definitely a game that I want to learn a lot more about. But yeah, there's a lot to know in this game, and I feel like there wasn't enough tutorial of like, this is what this is. This is what you do to get this. They've kind of just like left like a lot of gaps for you to just figure out on your own, which is fine in some ways, but not great in others. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've seen so many of this guy here. I know he's Flipendo again. But watch this. It's so funny. He resisted me. No! My gosh, see, my Flipendo trace is just so bad. My god, I can't even look at it. It's shameful. I try so hard. That's the pathetic part. It's like, I literally do try so hard and like, no luck. But I got it, so that's fine. So the Beater's Bat has been returned to quality Quidditch supplies. Yay! Magical games and sports. Yay, I just ranked up again. So that's the first Beater's Bat. So I need 4 of those, unfortunately. I don't know if I have that now. I don't think I do. Okay, so here we go. Here is the greenhouse, okay? And there are a lot of these, and as I said before, it's inns and greenhouses that I've noticed are the things that are going to be giving you the stamina and stuff. So here I didn't get it. I just got ingredients, but that is super useful for potions. Yeah, so for brewing potions, which is something that we're going to talk about like right at the end of the stream here. We're going to be talking a little bit about it then, and then we're also going to address a little bit more tomorrow. So for the greenhouse here, the other option, as I said, is planting. So planting, basically those little bags that you see around, there's the ingredients around, but there's also these little bags, and in those bags are seeds. They're not useful for potions, but they are useful at greenhouses. So if you know you're not going to be going to a lot of greenhouses, then I wouldn't hang on to a bunch of those, but definitely just sort of be aware that like you do need watering cans for the greenhouses. So when you plant though, okay, you have to go back. It's like I haven't found like one seed that I can just like plant it, water it, and get it right away, because you need way too much energy for this. So the energy, which is the sad part, is used for so many things. It's used for the fortresses, it's used for the dueling, it's used for the foundables, and it's used in the greenhouses, like it's just everything. So we need to make sure, guys, that I think if anything, if we're going to use our gold on anything at this point in the game, I'm going to say it's having an increased amount of stamina of what your storage can support. I feel like that is sort of where it's at. I feel like second might be potions, but I know ingredients, like it feels like you need it. I'm sure if you guys have played like longer than an hour, you'll know like ingredients are everywhere and then you just get a whole bunch. But again, they're a bit of a nuisance. Again, it's kind of like red Pokeballs. You just get like so many and it's like, no, you need Ultra and Mega. You do not need just a standard red Pokeball. So watch out for certain ingredients. And if you're not sure, that is going to be found in your vault. In your vault, you're going to be able to get rid of some of these items, which is going to be very, very useful because, again, like, you can't keep everything. Even though you'd like to, you're just not going to be able to. Sparky, yeah, awesome. You work so hard at the live streams. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you so much. I'm enjoying Wizards Unite. I wonder if events will come into play soon. I'm sure they will. Oh, totally. They're absolutely going to come into play. Hands down. They're going to be here in like no time. So the one thing I want to talk to you guys about the ingredients, like maybe it's different for different locations, but I have found there are a few that I just seem to get like way too many. The scurvy grass is one of them. The sneeze, what does this say? Sneezewort, you get a lot of. Dittany, I noticed. The newt spleen, it's been everywhere. I don't know about you guys, but it looks exactly like the Rheum blood, and honestly, it's not usually the Rheum blood, but they look very, very similar, like on the map. So just be careful. Like you guys definitely need a lot of Rheum blood, but not as many newt spleens. So just be cautious of that. Let's see here. Yeah, snowdrops. Okay, the amount of snowdrops that I've had is just crazy. Yes, they might be useful in some ways, but not that many. It's just crazy. Let's see here. Leaping toadstools, they're extremely hard to find. I believe the best way to get those is going to be through planting. Valerian I have seen around, but not that often. I do have currently, I'm looking at my box, I do have 15 of them. So not one I would need to grow right now, but definitely for some of the potions you are going to, I think, have to plant certain things. So again, like maybe your area is a little bit different, but I've definitely found like a lot of stuff. Like honey water, that's another one that just like overkill.
You found a portkey portmanteau. These are locked muggle-proof trunks that contain portkeys. Those portkeys lead directly to locations where you can find and return foundables.
Okay, so Portkeys.
As I'm sure you are aware, portkeys are enchanted objects that transport you to different locations within the wizarding world. You'll find a portmanteau in your suitcase now.
Okay, so I am not going to be testing one of those in this stream. I did try testing one, but it's way too, it's too difficult unless you've got, a good section of space around you. I feel like the best place to do a portkey, I hate to say this, is, go to a park, stand in the middle of a field, and do it. Because I haven't had any luck with it if you're doing it anywhere else. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. I might try it in my own home, but again, I was like, I just wasn't sure, I don't know. Not that it's invasion of privacy, but it's kind of a little bit. It's you want to show all this stuff, but you now see everything to do with that person's world on here if you show things. So you just kind of have to be careful too, because other times, if you do it, for example, if I did it in the studio, where I am, the room probably isn't big enough to actually be able to do a portkey properly. So that's the only kind of bad part. I could try doing it, but I don't know, if I could actually complete it, which kind of wastes the port key. So just something to think about, guys, is like port keys, don't do it as you're like about to cross a street, for example. It's like that would be the worst decision of your life. Yeah, not one of those things. You can do all these like spells and spinning and whatever when you're walking, but you cannot do port keys. It's just, yeah, that's suicide right there. I think in terms of events, I'm hoping they do have some events where it's like, you know, finding a whole bunch of something. But I think what I would like to see probably first and foremost would be like kind of what they do for Pokemon Go for Community Day. They have like, obviously I know that the Pokemon doesn't change, but it's like it spawns out more of something. And then it's like a special item. So either I hope they have like items that are special, or else they just have additional items that you have to participate in during, like, again, a certain time frame. Now, I think I would like it for more than like a couple of hours like they do for Pokemon Go. I would hope that they do, you know, like maybe... I feel like for this game, you might kind of want at least one day, maybe even like 3, maybe longer for the events. But I think having just one, like, or sorry, like a couple of hours there, like in one day, would just be like way too much. How much mileage have you done since you started playing? Quite a bit. I went through quite a bit of gas in my car. I've also done quite a bit of walking, but probably not enough. I tended to like go in areas that I found were really useful. So I found this one area like in between my place and my mom's that like has like 3 stops like to get to replenish on energy and stuff like that. So that's fantastic. The only bad thing though is that it's like you have to wait and stuff. But the worst thing is when you usually get like a whole bunch of inns around you and stuff like that, you will not actually get a lot of foundables and things like that. Unfortunately, there just doesn't tend to be a lot when, or confoundables, whatever, when you're actually around a whole bunch of them. Like even when if you're in like, let's say the city, like downtown of an area, it's a little different. But if you're just like anywhere else from your city or downtown area, it's like, yeah, it doesn't really work. All right, so this super upset me when I saw a Hedwig like this. Again, as you can see, I couldn't even concentrate. I was just so upset. I was like, we have to free Hedwig. Like, I was like losing my mind over this one. It wasn't scary, but when I saw that, I almost cried. When she left and I couldn't save her, I was like, no. It was like losing Hedwig in the films all over again. It was like such a traumatic experience. Now this, I was like, I have to save this adorable little cutie. The baby Niffler. Yay. Now, I felt so bad for the little guy, but I know that they just want the gold that he's got stashed away in his little tummy pocket. Adorable. I want to keep him. Maybe I should put like a whole bunch of Nifflers for tomorrow's video, like instead of the one I have on the side there. I feel like I should just have like a whole bunch of Nifflers. I think that would be amazing. Baby Nifflers, just to make it extra cute. Yay! So there we go. We got the first one on the page there, so that's pretty cool. I like when that happens. That always makes me super happy. Now this one was pretty sad too, but I think I had more luck on this one. The baby hippogriff. At first I was like, why is the hippogriff so small and weird looking? It's because it's a baby. Very common though to find, or at least I've had really, really good luck with it. Now, the one I'm really looking forward to finding is the Phoenix. Yeah, I did get Hedwig. Yay. Actually, she's the only one I have in the potions classroom. It's in Legends of Hogwarts. I was like, did I manage to get her? I did. Let's see here. I think there was one I was looking for to see if I ended up getting. But now the serpent is like super brutal when you come across the serpent. Oh my gosh. Not even joking. It's intense. Save him! I know, Amanda. I was like, no. But I did save the baby hippogriff. All right, so snowdrops. Oh my gosh, so many of those. So I didn't realize how to clear my bag until I actually filled it up, and I was like, you have to be able to lead it somewhere. So it's not that difficult to do. I wish you got something for it, but I understand there's no currency for that currently in the game. Come on, I gotta be good at least one spell. Now, sometimes, guys, I was walking or doing other things and, like, not fully paying attention. So some of the tracing is, like, extra pathetic. And it's, again, usually because I was like, I can't do both things at once. Oh, my gosh. I think one of the funniest things was I was eating last night. Or was it last night? No, it was today, actually. It was this morning. I was eating. I was trying to put something in my mouth, and the duel came up with the serpent, I think it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I literally just, like, yeah, such a hazard playing this game. I think I was wearing it, so, yeah, not fun to wear your breakfast. I know, the poor babies, I want them all too. Totally, they're so cute. The one, though, I'm actually, like, I know I've seen I've seen two of them, I think. I think it's two of them. But I think, got one, was the Demiguise. The Demiguise was so awesome. I loved how he looked on the screen. It was so accurate to the Fantastic Beasts movie. I was like, oh, can I just, like, take you out of my phone? I feel like Demiguises are, like, would be super lovable. And they'd probably give you, like, the best hugs. Alright, so magical megaphone here. I thought that was a little bit weird of an item to incorporate. I thought there were so many other items they could have had, but it's there. And here is the vampire. OMG. So I saw this, guys, in the middle of the night. Okay. Yeah, total panic mode. So this is where I think this is my first duel, actually. So you use stamina for this, so you do need a lot of it. You have to defend yourself, or the amount of damage these guys do is insane, and you can lose really, really fast. And again, this is one of those ones, if you don't do it quick enough, you will lose your turn, and they do move. So again, be very, very careful. And, like, fighting a vampire, like, scary, right? Totally scary. But they did a really good job on the graphics of this. Even watching this is, like, freaking me out. Protego! Oh, my God. Even a rewatch is, like, ridiculous. Oh, no. I don't think I lost this, did I? I don't think I did. But it looks like I'm going to. Ah, right. Okay, so I did a critical hit, and then I freaked out and ran into the potions vault to try and heal myself. Yeah, that's what happened. I was like, wait, I'm actually going to lose this. So I was too low of a level, guys, to actually take on the vampire. But I took him on anyways. I did need to use a potion, though. Even though I didn't do a bad job. And I, again, even got a critical hit in on there. And it was just like, yeah. I actually got confused on the battle like that. I don't think it was a duel, but actually like a boss enemy. Yeah, it was like a little bit shocking. There wasn't enough of, I feel, like a tutorial for that. That was something I wish they had given us a little bit, again, more of a tutorial for. And even like have an area where we could practice, because for example, like a pixie, I noticed this at, when I want to say the gym, I always, when you do the challenges, anyways, when you do the challenges and there are certain chambers that will have pixies and they move around a lot, like really, really quickly. And you, like, no matter what, even if you get on it right away, you do need to follow where the pixie goes with it. And so it is hard to get like your full circle on that one for sure. Pixies are the worst so far anyways, but yeah, you definitely need to not have that as like your first like 5 or 10 duels. Just don't do it. So I've reached a milestone here, and this allows me to face more difficult opponents. So this sort of allows me here to get into a certain section of the meter.
We'd like to expand your duties a bit.
Yeah, see, here we go.
You remember we mentioned Grim Folly, right? We believe he caused the calamity, but we don't know his current whereabouts or the nature of the spell he used.
That's a problem. A big problem.
If you come across anything, either about the foundable spell or Grim himself, let me know. I'm afraid if we don't find him, or at least figure out how he did it, we have no chance of undoing what has been done.
Yeah, he's gone crazy. This guy who did this is like nuts. I mean, thank you for letting it out into the world, but still. All right, so we are coming, I believe, pretty close to the end here.
Where you can take ingredients you found in the world and brew concoctions. Potions are vital in overcoming the calamity.
Okay, can I talk now? Yeah, so we are coming sort of closer to the end of this one. We will be going over how to actually brew these potions and stuff in more detail. There's a lot more to it than it first sort of appears to you guys. One of the biggest things, and again, you wouldn't sort of know it like unless you've sort of tried it and figured it out. But with each potion, there's an option to become like a master basically of it. And so when you brew it, there are actually things that you can actually do to sort of get like, what are they called? Like master notes. I think it'll come up here. But basically those extra little details and stuff are going to allow you to unlock certain features and stuff with these potions. So again, I'm going to go over it more in detail next time for sure. But this time, like just sort of the general idea here is like there are going to be certain potions that are going to be a lot easier to collect for. And again, some that aren't. Now, as we can see, the top potion is obviously the easiest. I'm going to try to pronounce it. Extimulo, I think that's how you say it. That one's pretty useful. And again, it is pretty easy to brew. So it's not overly difficult. But as you can see here, if you click actually the spoon or the ladle that's actually in the cauldron, you will be able to go in for these, they're called master notes, and there are a certain amount of things that you have to do, and it can reduce, once you've got the master notes, it can reduce your time by 15%. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Like if you're, I feel like as we go farther in the game, we're going to need these master notes, but I feel like if we sort of tackle them now, then it might be a good idea. Like I wouldn't say focus on it like your first like day or so of playing, but once you've like played for a couple of days and you kind of gotten into the groove of how things work and you're trying the potions out and having fun with it, this is sort of an extra step here that you'll definitely want to do to get those master notes. The potions, yes, they're useful now, but they're going to be even more useful later when we do face some of those like extreme, severe, challenging opponents that we're going to get. It's even going to help us in some of the duels like we've seen with the vampire and all that. So just something to think about. So here you can see there's those question marks. Those are those question marks. That's the one that classifies as the master notes. So you do have to brew it though a few times in order to get those mastered. So you do have to try a couple of things out. But again, I will walk you guys through that next time. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the next stream. Hopefully you guys have found this pretty helpful. If you have, make sure you do give it a big magical thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for post notifications. And if you don't hit that bell, then you do miss out on the notifications for live streams and stuff like that. So yes, it's important for videos, but if you want to kind of like tune into the streams and be a part of them and stuff like that, the best thing to do is turn on that bell. I've had a lot of people, especially with the DMK community, just be like, oh, like I don't get any like notifications. I didn't know. It's like you just have to turn on that bell and then it will notify you the second I put up the reminder. So the reminder usually goes out at least 30 minutes. It can go out earlier, just depending on when I set it and stuff like that. So just, again, keep that in mind, guys, that you will want to be doing that if you want to be a part of the streams. Now, I will be live on Swirly Pops for Disney's Heroes Battle Modes. So we're going to be checking out the Toy Story 4 content stuff. I know it's Disney, Harry Potter, but that is what I'm going to be doing. So if you want more Disney stuff, you can head over to Disney Girl or Swirly Pops to check out a lot more of the streams and stuff they do and videos, of course. It's over already. I've been on for like I've been on for almost 2 hours. Like, it's crazy. All right, I had so much fun today, guys, and I will see you guys later. Bye.